there's more, and there's very interesting research that even more than 5 grams of creatine can be beneficial for humans. So check this out. If you go to 10 grams of creatine per day, boom, 2 scoops. 10 grams of creatine per day appears to be helpful for bone loss. So if you or someone you know has osteopenia or osteoporosis, here I'm thinking of my 70-something-year-old mother and father who have osteopenia, 10 grams of creatine has been shown to improve bone loss, especially when combined with resistance exercise. So hopefully, if you want better bone strength or bone density, adding 10 grams of creatine per day and doing some sort of resistance exercise could improve that. So I'm thinking about my mother again. I'm making sure she's eating enough protein overall, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight from meat to help her with her osteopenia. And maybe she should consider 10 grams of creatine per day plus some resistance exercise. Super, super important as we age. But wait, there's more. Even higher doses of creatine have further benefit. Check this out. This is gonna sound like a lot of creatine, guys, but this is wild. 20 grams of creatine per day, so 4 scoops of creatine, have been studied for mental performance. And a week of 20 grams of creatine per day improved memory and cognitive performance tasks and might even improve sleep. That study was done over the course of a week. So most of us probably don't need to be taking 20 grams of creatine per day. And 20 grams of creatine per day has not been studied long-term for safety. Most of those studies are with 5 grams a day. But in the short term, if you're sleep deprived, if you are feeling foggy, if you have metabolic stress, if you are overly stressed in your life, 20 grams of creatine per day may be beneficial for memory and cognitive tasks. This is wild, guys. That is a dose of creatine that very few of us have ever experimented with in the last few years. It used to be in vogue to do 20 grams a day for loading, but now maybe 20 grams of creatine could be beneficial on days when you are particularly stressed, sleep deprived, or want that mental edge. So that is wild, guys. 20 grams of creatine per day could be beneficial, way beyond what we think of as 5. And again, nobody studied 20 grams of creatine long-term, but what we know about 5 for long amounts of time, super safe in terms of kidneys and hair loss and all these things. And last but not least, 20 grams of creatine per day has also been studied in neurodegenerative disease, things like Alzheimer's dementia or cognitive deficiency, memory issues in general. 20 grams of creatine may be helpful for that.